Oh, oh, okay. Bye. Okay. 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 think I'm unmuted. Okay, good. Everybody ready?
Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon. The board meeting of the Gateway Development Commission is now called to order. Today, we are holding a public meeting of the Gateway Development Commission's Board of Commissioners. Due to scheduling availability of commissioners and the need to advance key commission business in a timely fashion, today's meeting is being held virtually via teleconference, with audio being live streamed from the Gateway Program website. The commission is continuing to solicit virtual comments from the public for today's virtual meeting. A form for soliciting these comments is posted on the Gateway Program website for those who wish to submit a comment for today's meeting. Acting Secretary Caulfield, may I ask you to conduct the roll call and report on the public notice for today's meeting?
Thank you. Co-Chair Glenn?
Here.
Co-Chair Graywall-Verk?
Here.
Vice Chair Kosha?
Here.
Commissioner Barbas?
Here.
Commissioner Bauer?
Here.
Commissioner Rosen?
Here.
Commissioner Dominguez is absent from today's meeting. We have a quorum. Adequate notice of today's regular public meeting of the Board of Commissioners of the Gateway Development Commission has been provided in accordance with the Commission's enabling legislation. The agenda and public documents pertaining to the board meeting have been made publicly available on the Gateway Program website. Notice of the meeting was posted to the website 5 business days before the meeting, and public notice of the time and place of the meeting was provided to appropriate media outlets. A video recording of this meeting will be posted on the Gateway Program website.
Thank you. Before we continue into the public portion of today's virtual meeting, we will be entering into executive session to discuss contract negotiations and matters in which the release of information could impair a right to receive funds from the United States. After the executive session, the board will reconvene in public session by around 2:30 p.m. or shortly thereafter to continue the meeting, during which we will hear from Chris Kaluri and GDC staff for an update on the Gateway program. May I please have a motion from a commissioner to enter into executive session to discuss contract negotiations and matters in which the release of information could impair a right to receive funds from the United States or other grantor? Is there a motion?
So moved.
I make a motion to enter
Thank
into
you.
executive session.
Okay, may I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. We will now move into executive session. Okay. I hereby reconvene the open session board meeting. Mr. Caulfield, do we have a quorum?
All commissioners are in attendance with the exception of Commissioner Dominguez, and we have a quorum.
Thank you. I want to welcome everybody back to today's virtual meeting of the Gateway Development Commission. Before we turn to the Gateway Program update, the next item on today's agenda is a report on the minutes of the September 11th, 2023 meeting of the board. I will now turn to Mr. Caulfield for a report on the minutes of that meeting.
Copies of the minutes of the meeting of September 11th, 2023 were delivered in electronic form by myself to the governors of New York and New Jersey on September 13th, 2023. The time for action by the governors of New York and New Jersey expired at midnight on September 28th, 2023, at which time actions recorded in the minutes went into full force and effect.
Thank you. We will now turn to Chris Kaluri and other GDC staff for an update on the Gateway Program. And thank you, everybody, for joining us here today.
And at the last board meeting, we will be in construction this year. To that end, early construction activities are going to begin both at Tunnelly Avenue and at the concrete casing site at Hudson Yards within the next several weeks. Specifically, on Tunnelly Avenue, GDC issued a notice to proceed to the contractor, Conti Construction, last week, pursuant to a board approval that we received from you in the previous board meeting. Equally important, at the end of September, the GDC submitted all the necessary documents to become an eligible grant recipient for federal funding. If you remember, July of last year, we set out a goal of making sure all the documents are submitted by the end of last month, and true to our commitment, we did just that, and the FTA is now reviewing all those documents, and we look forward to their comments if they have any. Equally important, Title VI is an important submission that we need to make to the federal government. It is a vital federal civil rights requirement that is mandated by the FTA, and my colleague Megan will talk to you a bit about it in a second. Equally important, and the last item that I wanted to bring to your attention and the public's attention, and personally thank our partners at Amtrak, New Jersey Transit, and also the federal government to help GDC and our partners in New Jersey and in New York to negotiate and finalize the 2 SEP agreements that we need for Amtrak and New Jersey Transit for Package 2 and the Surface Alignment Project. We are very, very pleased with the progress that the Commission has made, and we look forward to working with you to make sure we continue on this trajectory. With that, I'm going to ask my colleague Megan Strickland to come and talk to you about the Title VI program.
Thank you, Chris. Title VI compliance, including the adoption of a board-approved plan, is required, as you mentioned, by the FTA. Title VI prohibits discrimination based on race, color, or national origin, and our plan details the process by which GDC receives and investigates public complaints of discrimination while ensuring due process. The program is required to include a public participation plan, which outlines effective practices and ensures proactive public engagement. It also includes a language assistance plan and describes the assistance GDC will provide those who have limited English proficiency. In this case, Spanish was identified as the primary non-English language spoken in the construction area, and GDC will provide all vital documents or interpreters at public meetings when requested by the public. The board item before you today seeks authorization not only for the adoption of the plan, but also for staff to take all required steps necessary to implement and comply with that procedure. I'll turn it over to Eric now to talk a little bit about our SEP agreements.
Thank you, Megan. Good afternoon. The Gateway Development Commission will not be building the Hudson Tunnel project by ourselves. Last year, when the Board of Commissioners authorized the execution of the project development agreement between the states of New York, New Jersey, Amtrak, and the Gateway Development Commission to govern the delivery of the Hudson Tunnel project, it also approved a management framework that included the use of what we call supporting or executing partners. The PDA contemplated that the GDC would enter into a series of bilateral agreements with supporting or executing partners to manage or support certain contracts associated with the project, bringing their unique expertise and technical capacity to each aspect of the Hudson Tunnel project. Earlier this year, the board authorized the first of the SEP agreements with Amtrak for the delivery of the Hudson Yards concrete casing, Segment 3. And last month, the board took action to authorize a second agreement with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey to provide construction management and other services to support the core and shell portion of the Hudson Tunnel project. Today, staff is seeking the board's authorization to approve the next two SEP agreements with Amtrak and New Jersey Transit. With these actions taken today, Amtrak and New Jersey Transit are committing to bring the staff and resources necessary to assist the Commission in moving the fit-out and surface alignment packages forward. Item number 1023-01, if approved, authorizes the execution of a supporting or executing partner agreement with Amtrak for Package 2, the tunnel and systems fit-out. Under the terms of the proposed agreement, Amtrak will support the GDC by providing construction management services, code actions, and other support as we design and construct the internal concrete, track power signals, electrical substations, and other systems. The work of fitting out the constructed tunnel and surface alignment is scheduled to start in winter of 2026, with an approximately 8-year duration because Amtrak will be helping us fit out the entire 4.5-mile segment. The red dashes on this map indicate the area contemplated by Package 2. The contemplated fit-out links various packages that will be under construction. One continuous signal and power system, life safety system, continuous track, and other improvements in order to run trains through the newly constructed tunnel. That's the scope of Package 2. These systems and infrastructure must connect and integrate with the rest of the Northeast Corridor system, and Amtrak, as the SEP, will help the Commission ensure integration is both timely and successful. Item number 1023-02, if approved, authorizes the execution of a supporting or executing partner agreement with NJ Transit for Package 3, the New Jersey surface alignment. We talk a lot about the tunnel itself, but the Hudson Tunnel project also contemplates constructing over 1 mile of new alignment in the lead up to the tunnel on the New Jersey side of the river, between County Road and Secaucus to the tunnel portal in North Bergen. Construction is due to start in late 2025 with a 3-year project duration. This slide shows a more detailed view and the exact limits of Package 3. The package encompasses construction of approximately 4,000 feet of retaining walls, allowing the existing sloped ground to be filled to a level surface, and over 3,000 feet of viaduct to ultimately support the track and other infrastructure. While Package 2 focuses on the track and signal and power systems, this package focuses on the construction of the support structure in the lead up to Package 2. Today, we will be asking your approval of each of these 3 items. This concludes our presentation.
Thank you, Chris, and the rest of the GDC staff. Do any of the commissioners have any comments or questions on the presentation? Okay. Prior to voting on today's action items, I would note for the record that the Commission has solicited virtual comments from the public in advance of and during today's virtual meeting. Mr. Caulfield, in his role as acting board secretary, will now list those individuals and organizations that have submitted comments to the commission.
Thank you, Co-Chair. A form for soliciting public comments was posted to the GDC website and was available throughout today's meeting. Comments received by 5 p.m. on Sunday, October 15th, 2023, of which there are 2, have been distributed to the board and posted to the Gateway Program website in advance of today's meeting. The first comment was from Gerald Keenan of New Jersey Alliance for Action. The second comment was from Sophie Capello of the Build Gateway Now Coalition. Any comments that were received today and during today's meeting will be distributed to the board and posted on the Gateway Program website after today's meeting. All virtual comments will also be filed in the Commission's records.
Thank you.
Thank you, Co-Chair Glenn and Commissioners. As my colleague Eric mentioned, we have 3 resolutions for your consideration. The first resolution, we're asking authorization to execute an SEP agreement with Amtrak.
Thank you, Chris. Do any of the commissioners wish to comment? Okay, not seeing any hands raised. Is there a motion from a commissioner to consider this resolution?
I'll move that motion.
Thank you, Amy. Is there a second?
I second.
Great, thank you. Any discussion? Not hearing any. I move this motion to a vote. Mr. Caulfield, please call the roll.
Co-Chair Glenn,
Yes.
Co-Chair Gray-Walverk,
Yes.
Vice Chair Kosha,
Yes.
Commissioner Barbas,
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer,
Yes.
Commissioner Rosen.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you.
The second resolution we're asking you to approve today is an authorization to execute an SCP agreement with New Jersey Transit Corporation.
Thank you, Chris. Do any of the commissioners wish to comment? Don't see any. Is there a motion from a commissioner to consider this resolution?
Make the motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, move this motion to a vote. Mr. Caulfield, please call the roll.
Co-Chair Glenn,
Yes.
Co-Chair Gray-Walverk,
Yes.
Vice Chair Kosha,
Yes.
Commissioner Barbas,
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer,
Yes.
Commissioner Rosen.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The last resolution we're asking for your approval is an authorization to adopt Title VI and non-discrimination program plan. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Do any of the commissioners wish to comment on this item? Seeing none, is there a motion from a commissioner to consider this resolution?
I'll move it.
Thank you. A second?
Second.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I move this motion to a vote. Mr. Caulfield, please call the roll.
Co-Chair Glenn,
Yes.
Co-Chair Gray-Walverk,
Yes.
Vice Chair Kosha,
Yes.
Commissioner Barbas,
Yes.
Commissioner Bauer,
Yes.
Commissioner Rosen.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you very much. There being no further business to conduct today, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
To adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, I'm guessing no discussion on that motion. Hearing none, I move this motion to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Great. Motion is approved and the meeting is adjourned. Thank you all very much.
Thanks. Thanks, everyone.